Module 3, Lesson 1. Lesson 1, the accounting cycle. Step-by-step process. Welcome to Lesson 1 of our Accounting Fundamentals module. Today, we're diving into one of the most important routines in the world of accounting, the accounting cycle. Think of the accounting cycle as the heartbeat of financial reporting. It's a step-by-step process that helps businesses record every transaction correctly, make adjustments, and prepare accurate financial statements. Whether you're managing a small business or working as a professional bookkeeper, mastering this cycle gives you structure, accuracy, and control. Let's walk through all 9 steps of the cycle with real-life examples to make each stage clear and practical. Step 1. Identify transactions. Every accounting process starts with identifying the economic events that affect a business. Not every event is recorded. Only those that can be measured in monetary terms and impact the company's financial position. For example, when a bakery sells cakes to a customer and receives payment, that's a transaction. If the same bakery pays its rent, that's another. Even if it receives a bill for electricity but hasn't paid it yet, it still counts because the expense was incurred. These events affect assets, liabilities, equity, income, or expenses, the building blocks of financial statements. Step 2. Journalize transactions. Once a transaction is identified, we journalize it, or in simple terms, record it in the general journal. This is done using the double entry system, meaning every transaction affects at least 2 accounts. Let's say the bakery buys a new oven on credit worth $150,000. Here's how the journal entry would look. Debit equipment for $150,000. An asset is increasing. Credit notes payable for $150,000. A liability is increasing. And add a short note to record purchase of equipment on credit. This step captures the transaction chronologically and lays the foundation for the rest of the cycle. Step 3. Post to ledger accounts. After journalizing, we post each entry to the general ledger, a detailed book where each account has its own page or section. Imagine this, like organizing a drawer. All cash transactions go to the cash ledger, sales go to the revenue ledger, and so on. This step groups similar transactions together and shows running balances for each account, making it easier to see how much you've earned, spent, or owe at any given time. Step 4. Prepare an unadjusted trial balance. Now that all transactions are posted, we check that our accounting system is mathematically correct. We do this by preparing an unadjusted trial balance, a list of all account balances before any adjustments. Here, total debits should equal total credits. If they don't, something went wrong. It could be a missing entry, an error in posting, or a transposition mistake, like writing 1,200 as 2,100. This step is crucial because it prevents errors from being carried forward. Step 5. Adjusting entries. At the end of an accounting period, not all financial activity is captured through regular transactions. That's where adjusting entries come in. These entries ensure that the accrual basis of accounting is followed, meaning we recognize income when earned and expenses when incurred, regardless of when cash is exchanged. There are 3 common types of adjustments. 1. Accruals, such as unpaid salaries or utilities. 2. Deferrals, such as prepaid rent or unearned revenue. 3. Depreciation, spreading the cost of long-term assets like machinery over time. For example, if the bakery hasn't paid a $2,000 utility bill for December, the entry would be debit utilities expense $2,000, credit utilities payable $2,000. Step 6. Prepare adjusted trial balance. Once all adjusting entries are made and posted, we create a new trial balance, the adjusted trial balance. This version contains corrected and updated balances and serves as the official source for creating the business's financial statements. This is the clean version of your books, and it must be accurate before moving forward. Step 7. Generate financial statements. Now comes the highlight of the entire cycle, financial reporting. From the adjusted trial balance, we prepare the 4 key financial statements. 1. Income statement shows revenue, expenses, and whether the business made a profit or loss. 2. Balance sheet shows what the business owns and owes at a specific point in time. 3. Cash flow statement tracks actual cash coming in and going out. 4. Statement of changes in equity reflects how owner's equity has changed due to investments, withdrawals, and retained earnings. These statements are vital tools used by owners, investors, creditors, and even government agencies. Step 8. Closing entries. At the end of the period, we need to reset the temporary accounts so we can start fresh in the new accounting period. We do this with closing entries, where we transfer all revenue and expense balances to the income summary account, then move the net profit or loss to retained earnings or capital. Lastly, we close drawings, if any, to capital. The purpose? To zero out temporary accounts and preserve permanent ones like assets, liabilities, and equity. Step 9. Post-closing trial balance. Finally, we prepare the post-closing trial balance, the last checkpoint. It includes only permanent accounts. All revenues, expenses, and drawings should now have a zero balance. This trial balance becomes the starting point for the next accounting cycle. Final takeaway: why the accounting cycle matters. The accounting cycle is more than just a routine. It's a structured approach that ensures every peso or dollar earned, spent, or owed is accounted for with accuracy. From the first transaction to the final report, this cycle protects the business from errors, enables smart financial decisions, and supports compliance with accounting standards. By following these 9 steps, bookkeepers and business owners alike create clarity, credibility, and confidence in their financial reporting. End of Module 3, Lesson 1.